Hello and welcome to the Free Spirit Poncho Crochet Along. So this week is part 4 and we are going to square our circles. Okay, so for the next round we are going to start right where we left off last week. So we didn't cut our yarn, it's all still there, so just where we were. And we will begin with a chain 4. 2, 3 and 4. And so this chain 4 will count as our first treble. Okay? So next we are going to work 3 trebles in the same stitch, so the next stitch right here, one, two, and 3. Okay, so we have our 3 trebles in this stitch. Now we are going to chain 3 and go back to this last treble we worked right here and work a slip stitch. And so we have a picot. And then you're gonna work 3 trebles in the next stitch right here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is actually gonna be our corner for the square. Okay, so next for the sides we are going to work a treble in the next stitch. So treble, and again a treble in the next stitch, and just one more time treble in the next stitch. So we have our corner here, so 3 trebles, picot, 3 trebles in the next stitch, and then we have a treble in next 3 stitches. Okay, next we are going to work a double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 here. Okay, so we have 7 double crochets. Now next we are going to work a half double in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh sorry, that's 1 too many, half double crochets in the next 5 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just get carried away. And next we are going to work a single crochet in the next 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So we have 18 single crochets. Okay, so next you're just gonna work symmetrically, just like we did here. So we will work 5. We will work a half double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just like on the other side, double crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright. And next, and again, just like we did on the other side here, we are going to work a treble in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this last treble that we have worked is exactly the same as this one here, this chain 4 here, which means that next we will work our next corner. So we are going to put 3 trebles right here in this stitch. We will then work a picot and then 3 trebles in this stitch here. And then we are going to make the second side just the same way as we did here. So I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll meet you back here when it's time to join. Okay, so I finished my round here, and so I ended with making a treble crochet in the last 2 stitches right here, and so here's my third one. So it's the chain 4 from the beginning of the round, and we are just gonna close in the 4th chain. So a bit tricky to get through those 2 loops. Okay, and here we go. So we now have a, well, it's not really a square yet, but it's getting there. And so it's going to be perfectly square with the next 3 or 4 rounds. Okay, so for the next round we are going to start with a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which will count as our first double crochet. Then we're going to work a double crochet in each remaining stitch before the picot. So 1, 2 and 3, and here we have our picot. So our repeat will start right here. Now we are going to work 2 double crochet in the center here of the picot, just like that. So 1 and 2 double crochet. We are then going to chain 2 and again 2 double crochet in the center of the picot. So that's our new corner, okay? So next we are gonna work a double crochet in next 15 stitches. So just after a picot it might be a little tricky, so this little stitch here, that's the slip stitch from the picot. So our next stitch is actually right here, okay? And so double crochet in next 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we have 15 double crochets plus our corner here. Next we are going to work a half double crochet in next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright? And next, in the next 12 stitches, it's gonna be single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And so again, we will work symmetrically on both sides. So half double crochet in next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And now we are left with 15 stitches before our picot, and we are going to work a double crochet in each of those stitches. So 15 double crochets total. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 right here. So we are again here just before our next picot, and so we're gonna work our corner just as we did here. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all in the center of the picot, and then we are gonna work exactly the same way for the other 3 sides. And so at the end of your round, so you will work your double crochets here, and so you will have 11 double crochets total, because you already have 4 right here. Okay, so with your 11 double crochets that you're gonna work at the end of your round, you're gonna have 15 with those ones. And so I will meet you when it's time to join here. Okay, so I'm here at the end of my round, and so you can see our work is a little bit more square, but it's not perfect yet. And so we will join to the 3rd starting chain right here, and let me just manage to go through those both loops. Okay, so here we go. For the next round, we are going to start with a chain 1 and half double crochet in the same stitch, so the same one as the slip stitch join. Next we will work a double crochet in the next 4 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here we have 1 stitch, this one here left before our corner space right here. And so on this round we are going to work our corners a little bit asymmetrically, and that is because we are working in the same direction all the time, so we're not turning our work. And so with each round, all of our stitches have their posts here, and the loops are just a little bit to the right on every stitch. So if we were to work all our corners symmetrically, our square would be slanting a little, so we don't want that. So that's why we are going to work a little differently. So in this last stitch before the corner, we are going to work 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. We are then going to work 2 double crochets, a chain 2 and 2 double crochets again in the same chain 2 space. Now our next stitch of this round, the first double crochet after the corner, is this loop here. So you be careful, because this one is often hidden by the stitches you just worked into your corner. So it's this loop right here. But as we are not working symmetrically on this round, we are not gonna go in this stitch. We are gonna skip this one and go here and work a double crochet, and next double crochet in next 3 stitches. Okay, so in total after our corner we have 4 double crochets. So next we are going to work a half double crochet in next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 10 half double crochets. And right here in the middle we are going to work 28 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Okay, so here, just as we did on this side, here we are going to work 10 half doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And so this last half double is the same one as this first one here. And so, just to show you the asymmetrical corner once more, we are going to work a double crochet in next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3 and 4, which leaves us with 1 stitch before the corner, and we are going to work 2 double crochets here. So next we work our corner, so 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet again in this chain space, and then we are going to skip this hidden stitch here, and we're going to work 4 double crochets, a double crochet in next 4 stitches. And so you're going to work just the same way for the remaining 3 sides, and I'll meet you right here. Okay, so I am now ready to join my round. So I have worked 9 half double crochets in my last 9 stitches here, and so I'm going to join to this first half double of the round, just like that. Okay, and so you can see that at this point we may need to pull on it a little, but we do have a square. Okay. Okay, so for the next round, it's actually a quite simple round. So we are going to chain 1 and work a half double crochet in the same stitch here, and a half double crochet in every stitch until we reach the corner space here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we are here just near our chain 2 space at the corner. So in this chain 2 space we are going to work 2 half doubles, chain 2 and 2 half doubles again, 1 and 2. Now on this round we are gonna work in this stitch, this hidden stitch right here. So half double crochet in there, and we are just gonna work half double crochet in every stitch of the round, and we will make all our corners just like this. And so on this round, be really careful. This first stitch here might be hidden and you need to work a half double crochet in there. So I'm gonna let you work your half doubles, and I'm gonna meet you right here to join. Okay, so I finished my round, and so as usual, let's join here in this first half double crochet of the round with a slip stitch. Okay, so our round is done, and now the last instructions of this round tell us to place stitch markers in certain stitches. So I am going to use these stitch markers, the small ones, but just so you know, if you don't have if you don't have stitch markers like these, you can also use a piece of yarn, just a scrap piece of yarn, a tail that you cut, or maybe safety pins, just like this. So, well, anything you have on hand, just to mark some stitches. So you don't have to have your fancy stitch markers. Just a piece of scrap yarn will work just as fine, just as well as stitch markers. So we need to place a stitch marker in the 13th half double crochet, counting back from each corner. So for example, in this corner here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So my 13th half double crochet is this one here. So this is where I'm going to place my stitch mark. And so that's what I'm going to do for all my sides. So each time, counting back from your corner here, you place a stitch marker in the 13th half double crochet on this side here. And so you do this for each side of your square, and you will have 4 stitch markers in your project. So for the next round, we are going to start in this first stitch here, and we are going to chain 1, work a half double crochet in the same stitch, and now work a half double crochet in all of these remaining stitches until the corner, except this last stitch. So half double crochet in every stitch until only 1 stitch remains to the corner space. Okay, so here, oh no, actually there was one left. So yeah, there. I am here. I only have 1 stitch to my corner space, and in this last stitch I'm gonna work 2 half double crochet. So again, we're not gonna work this corner symmetrically. So 2 half doubles in this last stitch here before the corner. Now in the corner space we are going to work 1 half double, chain 2, and again 1 half double. Now here pay special attention to this stitch here, because with half doubles it's really a bit tricky. So your first stitch is this loop here, so that's not your chain 2 space, that's your half double. With half doubles it can be quite tricky. So it's this stitch here, and we are going to work in this stitch and just work 1 half double. Okay? Next, we are going to work a half double crochet in next 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So we have worked in this first hidden stitch here and the next 11 stitches, and we've made a corner here, working a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in the corner, which means we have 13 half double crochets on this side, and now on this side we have worked our corner. We've worked 2 double crochets in this last stitch and a half double crochet in 10 stitches here, which means we also have 13 half doubles, and that's how it's gonna be all the way around. Okay, so next what we want to do, we have worked all our half doubles, so we have 13 again, counting the corner here. And so what we're going to do is chain 2, skip this next stitch here, and work a single crochet in the next one. So we are again working a mesh section, and that's what we're going to do all the way until here, this stitch marker. So your last single crochet will fall in this stitch here with the stitch marker in it. So let me just show you again. Chain 2, skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next one, and that's what you do all the way to here, and I'll meet you there. So I'm almost there. I just have one last chain 2 and single crochet in my marked stitch. So I'm gonna just take out my stitch marker and work in my marked stitch. So that's my first mesh section done. Now on the other side it's a little asymmetrical to this one, so we are just going to chain 1. We're gonna skip this stitch here, next stitch, and we are going to work a half double crochet in the next stitch. So here we have, right here we have a chain 1 space, and we are going to take our stitch marker back and put it in this chain 1 space right there. And so we have 1 half double crochet, which is actually the same half double as this first one here, the first we worked in the round. And so that's going to be our repeat. We're going to work a half double crochet in every stitch until only 1 remains to the end of the round, 2 half doubles in this last stitch, then our corner, and so on. And so remember, each time you will have 13 half doubles on each side of a corner before you have your mesh section. So okay, I'm gonna let you do this, and I'll meet you right here to join. So I'm almost done here. I just have one last chain 2 and single crochet in my marked stitch, and so you'll notice here we only have 1 stitch left to the end of the round. So that's the stitch we're skipping, so chain 1, and this is our first half double on the other side. so we're just gonna slip stitch in there, and as usual place our stitch marker in this chain one space here, and there you go. Okay, for our next round we are going to start with a slip stitch in the next stitch here. So we are moving one stitch to the left, and that's because we want to always have our 13 half doubles in each following round. Okay, so chain one, half double in the same stitch, and then half double in every stitch all the way to your corner here. So that's going to be 12 stitches total, counting your first half double here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we are here at our corner space, and what we're going to do is just the same as on the previous round: half double, chain 2, and half double. So with this new corner space here, we now have 13 half doubles here before the corner. And so that's what we're going to do on the other side too. So again, very careful not to miss this first stitch here. So this is your first half double, that's not part of the chain space, okay? So be careful not to miss it, and half double in 12 stitches after corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and here you will see that we have one half double left before our first chain 2 space, and so we are going to skip this one and just chain 2 and work a single crochet in our next chain 2 space. Okay, so we are expanding the mesh section one stitch with each round. So this here is our skipped stitch, chain 2, single crochet in next chain 2 space. Now we are going to work our mesh just as we did before, so chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 2 space, and that's what we're going to do all the way to here, and so our last single crochet will be right here in this marked chain 1 space. Okay, so I'm gonna let you get there, and I'll meet you here to show you how to continue the round. Okay, so I've worked my last chain 2, and now all I have to do is work a single crochet in this chain 1 space here, and next I'm gonna chain 1 I'm gonna skip the first stitch, so again, as it's a half double, be very careful. The first stitch, so the one that you're skipping, is this one here, not this one, but this one that really blends in with your chain space. Okay, so I've chained one, so skipping this hidden stitch and working a half double crochet right here. And so this half double is the same as this one, this first one of our round, after we had slip stitched in the second stitch of previous round. And so that's what we're going to do all around for all the other sides. And so as usual, I will meet you right here to join. Oh, and just one more thing. Now that I've worked my first half double here, I'm just gonna put my stitch marker back in this chain one space. So I have everything marked for my next round. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of my round. I've worked my last single crochet in my chain one space. So now what I need to do is chain one and just close with a slip stitch in this first half double of the round. And I'm just gonna mark this stitch again, this chain one space again, and so my round is finished. So we have our mesh section that expands towards the corners, just like that. Now, depending on the size you want for your poncho, you're gonna repeat this round, just the exact round that we have worked here. You're gonna repeat just that. So if you want the small size, you're gonna just repeat that once and then continue with the next round. And if you want a bigger size, so for example the large size stated in the pattern, you will repeat this round 3 more times. So in total you will have 5 rounds of mesh section. Now, if you would like to make it even larger, it's totally okay. You can just repeat this round as many times as you want, as many times as you need. And so the important thing will be to always start with a slip stitch to the next stitch, so that you always have your 13 half doubles on either side of your corner. And with each round that you work, you will have one more single crochet chain two space. And the stitch count of your corners here doesn't change. It will always be 13 half doubles on either side of each corner. Okay, so I'm gonna let you work as many of those rounds as you need, and I'm gonna meet you after that to show you the edging. Okay, so I have worked 5 total rounds of the mesh section here, so I'm making size large. Okay, but you can work as many of those rounds as you need. And now I'm going to show you our edging. So for the next round, we are going to again slip stitch in this next stitch, and you'll notice that I still have my stitch markers in all of my chain one spaces. So we are gonna need those in this round. So I've slip stitched in my next stitch. Now I'm gonna chain one and work a half double bead stitch in this same stitch that I just slip stitched into. So 1, 2, 3. So those are the same bead stitches as those one we made here. Okay? And so next I'm gonna skip next stitch and work a half double bead stitch in the next one. And that's what I'm gonna do until I only have one stitch left to my corner space. So skipping one stitch and a half double bead stitch in the next one, and again skipping a stitch and working a half double in the next one, and so I'm there. I only have one stitch, this one stitch left to my corner, and I'm going to work a half double bead stitch in this stitch, so you won't have a skipped stitch between those last two bead stitches before the corner. Okay, next for my new corner I'm gonna work a half double bead stitch, chain 2 and another half double bead stitch in this corner space. So right here. Now remember, with the half doubles, the first stitch after the corner is this one here, and we are going to skip this one and work into the second stitch and make a half double bead stitch. Now we are going to skip the next stitch and work a bead stitch in the next one 5 more times. So we should have one stitch left before the first chain 2 space of our mesh section. So here's one, that's 2, that's 3, four, and the fifth one, there. So we have one stitch left before our first chain 2 space, and remember we always worked 13 half doubles in our previous rounds, so it doesn't matter how many rounds you added, you always have the same number of beads here before your first chain 2 space. Now what we're going to do is skip this last stitch and work a half double bead stitch in every chain 2 space, actually in every chain space, right up to this marked space here. So half double bead stitch in every chain space, ending on this marked space here. So that's where your last half double of this sequence goes. So I'm gonna let you work your half doubles and I'll meet you right here. Okay, so I'm here at my marked space. So I'm just gonna work my half double bead stitch in this marked space. And I won't need those stitch markers anymore, so you can just take those out. Now next we are going to skip this first hidden stitch right here, this one, and we're gonna work in this one. So a half double bead stitch again, and this half double bead stitch is exactly the same as the one as your first one of this round. So that's our repeat. So just remember there's no skipped stitch between those last two bead stitches, and then you are skipping the first hidden stitch after corner. And that's it. So I'm gonna let you finish this round and I'll meet you here to join. Okay, so I've worked my last half double bead stitch, and now we're just gonna join with a slip stitch to the first half double of the round, and here. Okay, so that's it. Now for our last round, we are going to start with a chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch, and we are going to work a single crochet in every stitch until the corner. And so just be careful to crochet in every stitch. So remember that bead stitches have this set of loops from the half double and this set of loops from the bead itself. So we just work a single crochet in every stitch until we reach our corner. So just single crochets everywhere. And there. So to make a new corner, we are going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Now here, after the corner, again the first half double kind of blends in with the chain space. It's this stitch here, and we are going to work in this one and just work a single crochet in every stitch all around and make all our corners just like we did here. So single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And so I'll let you do that and I'll meet you one final time to join. Okay, so I finished my round, and as usual we are just going to work a slip stitch in this first stitch of the round. And so that's it. All we have to do now is fasten off our tail here and just secure. And so our square is done. So that's what you need to do with all of your 4 squares. And then it will all be ready for the next phase. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to work away our yarn tails. So I've actually worked most of them away already, but I just thought I'd show you how I like to do it with this yarn tail coming from my magic ring. So this one you actually need to be extra careful with, because if this one isn't secure enough inside, your whole project could come undone, so we don't want that, so really careful with this tail. So I've just threaded my needle, and I like to use a sharp needle to weave my ends in, just because I'm gonna go not only in the stitches but also splitting my yarn. So it's really gonna make it secure. So I just went under a few stitches and I'm gonna pull through, just making sure that I don't come out here at the front, but really stay inside the stitches. And I'm just gonna go around here a few times, really locking this in. And then once in a while I'm gonna change direction. So I'm gonna go back where I came from, making sure that I go over this last stitch that I went under, so it locks in. And I'm just gonna work all around the center space. And really with this particular yarn tail, I'm really weaving in lots and lots of times, so I can be sure that my project will stay together. And again. And the other way. Okay, maybe just one more time right here. And okay, it's all secure, so now all I need to do is snip it right here. And I'm done. So that's what we need to do with all our ends. So I have one left right here, that's my last yarn tail. And then before next week we are going to block all of our squares. So blocking is very important for this pattern, because we have some mesh sections here, and as you can see right now we can't really see the mesh properly. It's all kind of bugged up, and so blocking will help open up those stitches and it will also get us to the correct size, because if you worked the small size pattern, your square right about now without blocking should be about 38 centimeters wide. If you work the large size pattern, your square should now be 40 to 41 centimeters. Now with blocking, for size 1 we are going to block to 41 centimeters, and for size 2 we are going to block to 44 centimeters each side. Okay, so that's a very important step. And so if you're not sure how to block a project, make sure you check out my photo tutorial. I published one on my blog for blocking these squares. And so happy stitching, blocking, and I'll meet you next week.